Yo!
Level 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. 2018 Fireballs here, back with another MLB 9 Innings 25 video. We're on our Dodgers team here today, but before I get into what we have for the team, some big news. The new 2025 signature cards have been added into the game by Comp2Us. There are 128 of them, and starting with this video, I will be going over every single new team signature, going division by division in MLB, and looking at the new cards, giving my opinions on them, which ones I think could have been added or should have been added, or if the cards that are added are good enough. I'll let you guys know my opinions here in the next several videos. We're going to start today with the American League East, but there are a lot of great cards, as you can see here. These are some of the top cards that Comp2Us is showing off right now, and there are also some questionable decisions that Comp2Us made and some questionable cards that got left out. A lot of teams didn't get batter sigs this year, which really surprised me, and a lot of that has to do, I believe, with the overall of a lot of batters that Comp2Us gave after the year ended, which is not the batters' fault. To some degree it is, because there was poor performance from batters, but a lot of it has to do with the ratings Comp2Us gave certain batters, which were unfair in my opinion. But we'll get to those players eventually. We're going to go to the collection here to start off first though, and look at the American League East. In the next video that I do, we'll cover the American League Central, and then so on and so forth until we get to the National League West. So for the next 6 videos, we'll be covering the new team sigs for every team. But starting off here with the New York Yankees, we have 2 new batter sigs and I believe 4 new pitcher sigs. With the batters here, starting off, we have Cody Bellinger 2025, which I do believe is well deserved. Great overall, 71 base is a nice outfield card for the Yankees. The Yankees do have a lot of outfielders, keep in mind, so he is in the mix. So if you do get him, he is about average at best for a Yankees team. Not the greatest, but not the worst. His fielding is really good, so you could even play him at center field, even though he has only a left field and right field option. And his hitting stats are high enough to where they can be very competitive for any Yankees team. And then, of course, you got the captain, Aaron Judge 2025. Right here. He has so many team sigs for the Yankees already, it's kind of getting overloaded in my opinion, but all of his cards are so good. Any card from like 2022 onward for Judge, you're getting an excellent outfield card no matter who it is. 24, 23, 25, all of these cards are, I believe, above 74 base overall. His 2017 also is very good, but I believe that's only a 72 base. So Aaron Judge here getting another epic signature card. Also love the card art, him hitting a home run, and at the end of his celebration pointing to the commentary box, as it seems right there. But those are the new batter sigs. I'll give my opinions on which cards I think could have gotten sigs for batters after I look at the pitchers for the Yankees. But here we have 4 new pitchers, 2 starters, and 2 relievers. First off, Carlos Rodon right here, who I think is very well deserved. 73 base overall, had an outstanding season, 3 ERA, almost a sub 3 ERA, 18-9 and 203 strikeouts, very good right there. Next you have Max Fried, who's a 72 base overall starting pitcher, and I have to nitpick this, but with the card art here, Comp2Us must have messed up with the background removing of this, or the photoshopping of this card, because if you notice between his cap and the bridge of his nose, there's like a skin tone color triangle in between there, and it's really bothering me. At first I thought I was seeing things when I was looking at this signature before I made this video, but no, it seems like Comp2Us either made an error, or that might be somebody else behind him that they didn't crop out, or they just forgot to, you know, shave off that thing from his nose. It's definitely not a part of his body. If it's his ear, that's kind of weird because his ear is so far back. But just a little nitpick on the card art. It's epic. It looks really clean, all except for that triangle between his nose and his cap. Let me know what you guys think about that, though. I think that's a mistake on Comp2Us's part. Other than that, though, great Max Fried, 2.86 ERA, 19-5, led the league in wins, 189 strikeouts, was a top contender for the Cy Young. Of course, didn't win it, but Max Fried, a very well-deserved signature. First year for the Yankees as well. This is Rodon's 2nd year with the Yankees, I believe, and it is his 2nd sig with the Yankees as well. Now, 2 relief pitchers, David Bednar here, who was a mid-season acquisition for the Yankees, and he is a very good reliever, 68 base. He's more on the top end of Yankees relievers. and he had a good season down the stretch with the Yankees, so I think this is a well-deserved SIG for him. Everything above 70 base overall, which is really good for any reliever, and 50 stamina, which is what you want for most relievers. 52 stamina, 51 stamina sometimes given. I don't understand why that is, because relievers really don't pitch that many innings unless you're a long reliever, but that's besides the point. David Bednar here, very excellent. Now, Devin Williams here is where it kind of gets questionable for me. He's a great player, but he didn't do well for majority of the season. He did start getting hot down in September and late August, and he finished with an okay stat line. 90 strikeouts is nothing to be upset about. It's actually really good. Almost 100 strikeouts for the amount of games he played. His ERA is high though, and he had a low amount of saves. It doesn't show like his whip and his FIP or anything. I really don't know what it looks like. You can check that on stat sheets, but 66 base overall, it's a decent reliever for the Yankees. If you get him, he's usable. He's not near the top end though, like David Bednar is. And now to compare these Yankees SIGs with the other cards that could have gotten SIGs, for the batters first and foremost, I'm going to go by year here and look at some cards that I think could have gotten SIGs. Now for the Yankees, I was surprised that Jazz Chisholm didn't get a signature. 69 base overall. I think Comtois snubbed him on this base overall. He should have been 71, 70 minimum. But he has high power, lower on the fielding, which makes sense because he wasn't that great of a fielder at second base. The power is on point. The contact and eye, though, could have been higher in my opinion. He had a 30-30 season, and he did not get a SIG for this year, which is kind of surprising. The Yankees do have some good second basemen as signatures like Labor Torres and DJ LeMahieu, but DJ LeMahieu might come out of the game soon. He's not really playing anymore, or when he did play, he's not doing well, so I'm assuming he's going to retire soon. But Jazz Chisholm here, I think, should have totally gotten a signature for the Yankees. He would be a great power-hitting second baseman, maybe not the greatest fielder, but his speed's up there. His contact and eye should have been a bit higher, though. Other than him, I could have seen Paul Goldschmidt possibly getting a SIG. I know he had lower hitting stats and base power. He could have gotten one, but his base overall wasn't that high. Also, Ben Rice here, I think as a first base catcher option would have been really cool to have gotten a SIG, but 255 average, 26 home runs. It's a little bit on the mediocre end as far as batting stats go on the back of the card. His hitting stats though are there. His catching is a little low, but you can always train that up as a for a catcher. You can get that fielding up to 150 no problem if you get trainers and special training and all that good stuff. So I think Ben Rice could have gotten a SIG instead of Bellinger and Aaron Judge. I'm not upset about them. Bellinger was well deserved, but I definitely think Jazz Chisholm should have gotten. And even Trent Grisham right here as well. 30 home run season, low batting average, but he played a lot of games, and he had a breakout season. I don't understand why they didn't give him one. They gave him, like Jazz Chisholm, low contact and lower fielding and speed and high power. I mean, come to us. It's a mystery to me, the stats they give to some players and why they don't give others SIGs. He would have been another outfield SIG, so I can see why they didn't give it to him and rather opted for Judge because he's the more popular player, as well as Bellinger, since Belly is only, he's a free agent right now. So anyway, I'm babbling on a little bit too long about this, but I think Jazz Chisholm and Trent Grisham should have gotten SIGs. As far as the pitching goes for the Yankees, though, I think that they gave the players that needed to get SIGs correctly. I do think Luke Weaver could have gotten one. 66 base overall. I think he was a bit more deserving than Devin Williams, even though Devin Williams' stats show better because he pitched a few more games and had more strikeouts. I think Luke Weaver was the more consistent player throughout the year. Camilo Doval as well could have gotten one. I know he was kind of up and down when he was traded to the Yankees, and he's only 65 base, so I can see why they passed up on him. But I think if anybody else besides Devin Williams should have got a SIG, I think it should have been Luke Weaver. But at the same time, Luke Weaver does have a 2024 SIG. So getting a newer SIG or a new player SIG for the Yankees, that's Devin Williams, I think that's a lot better for Yankees teams. So just my opinions here and there on who I think should have gotten. The SIG starting pitchers are perfect. Devin Williams questionable, but I think Chisholm and Grisham should have definitely gotten SIG cards. Now for the Red Sox. Looking at the new team SIGs for Boston. I thought Trevor Story was totally going to get a SIG for the Red Sox. As many of you know, Red Sox are my team. But Alex Bregman took the only batter SIG for the Red Sox. 69 base here, and it's an okay third baseman, but you have Wade Boggs, Rafael Devers, and what's his name, Darrell Evans as well as an option for third baseman. So this Bregman SIG does not excite me in the slightest. If I got him, he's better than my Devers, but Hitting wise, he's going to be lower, and his fielding isn't even super high. So this is really just kind of a pass-up card for me, in my opinion. I feel like Trevor Story was definitely more deserving. For the pitching side, though, I think they got it perfect with the Red Sox. Garrett Crochet here, runner-up in Cy Young voting, 75 base. Just, they needed this. The Red Sox needed a starting pitcher like this in this game, because every single year they either get 70 or 71 base overall starters, maybe a 72 if you're talking about Tanner Houck from last year, but even then you need like a 74, 73 base starting pitcher to be competitive in this game. Crochet's a 75 here. I love this. And Aroldis Chapman was outstanding this year. There's no words to describe how good Aroldis Chapman was for the Red Sox. High strikeouts, 32 saves, 1.17 ERA. I am hunting for this card on my Red Sox team the next time I open team sig packs or sig packs in general. He is the highest base overall reliever from this last season in the game, and he is a beauty. 75 base above on every stat besides stamina. You rarely see that. But this is epic. This is a perfect reliever, and I'm hoping to get him for the Red Sox. Now, for the Red Sox, as far as batter sigs that they could have gotten, I think Trevor Story, like I said, should have gotten a sig, but I went to go check the overall, and I noticed that he's a 67 base. Now, I understand that he struggled at the beginning of the season, and he has 62 base I and low fielding, but the guy was so good throughout the entire year besides the month of May. They should have given him a higher overall. He played almost all the games. It was his first full healthy season in Boston. He had 30 stolen bases, almost a 30-30 season. I feel like they just robbed Trevor Story of a good signature. Even though Xander Bogaerts has tons of shortstop sig cards on this team, I feel like having Trevor Story would have been the better option than Bregman, but Comtois decided to do that. You could have also given Jarren Duran a sig. I know his base overall is a lot lower than it was last year. Definitely didn't play as good as he did last year, but still could have given him a sig too, and even Ceddanne Rafaela. His base overall, I think, got snubbed a little bit. He played most of the games, was up and down throughout the season, so I guess I can understand why. And then Willie Abreu here, if he would have stayed healthy, I think he would have definitely gotten a sig. He almost led the team in home runs, but Trevor Story ended up getting hot and ended up taking that over. But other than that, for the batters, I really think Trevor Story should have gotten a higher overall. And then for the pitching side, like I said, just basically perfect. Maybe just one little nitpick, or I'll say this, I'm glad they didn't give Brian Bayo or Lucas Giolito sigs, because they were both 69 base overall and not appealing in the slightest. So thank you, Comtois, for just giving Garrett Crochet the sig instead of trying to throw in a couple more that I really wouldn't need, or Red Sox teams really wouldn't need. The only other reliever that I think could have gotten a sig would be Steven Matz. 65 base, though. 55 stamina, which kind of throws that off, so he's more of a 64 base or low 65 base card. He had a good season, didn't strike out a lot of batters, was a mid-season acquisition, so I think for the pitching side, actually, Garrett Whitlock could have gotten a sig. He does have a couple of good ones, though, so adding him would have been kind of just adding an extra Garrett Whitlock that already exists in the game. So other than Whitlock and Matz, though, I think Chapman and Crochet were perfect for the Red Sox. But the batters, man, I really just wish the batters were better for the Red Sox, Trevor Story especially. I'm going to get off of that rabbit trail or that rant. Moving on to the Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays did not get any new batter sigs. The first team we'll look at that didn't get any batter sigs, and we'll look at why that is in the 2025 players for the Rays. But for the pitching side, they got two new starting pitchers and two new relievers. Drew Rasmussen, 2025, 71 base overall, lower stamina, so more stats go to his velocity, location, and fastball than they would if the stamina were higher. And he had a good season, 2.7 ERA, 10-5, 127 on the strikeouts. You also got Ryan Pepio, his first sig in the game for the Rays as well. I believe Rasmussen has no sigs for the Rays until now, so that's really cool. Pepio as well, first sig in the game for him, 71 base, 3.8 ERA, 11-12, 167 strikeouts. Well deserved for him. Both of these are middle of the pack starting pitchers for the Rays, so if you get them as a Rays team, very good. You can use them in your lineup, but there are some better ones. Then for the relievers, pretty good. We'll get into the relievers in just a bit here as far as who I think should have gotten. 67 base Clevenger right here, well-deserved, 2 ERA, 82 strikeouts, consistent all year, and a great overall. But then Griffin Jax here, I was wondering why they gave Jax the sig instead of someone else. 4 ERA, 99 strikeouts, high strikeout total, 73 games. He only played half a season with them, though, and I don't think he was particularly that good with the Rays down the stretch. Anything notable, at least. Cool card art, but yeah, I don't think they should have given Jax the SIG. For the batters, though, let's take a look at the batters. They really had nobody going for them except Junior Caminero. I am very shocked that Junior Caminero did not get a SIG. Granted, he's a 67 base with low fielding for a third baseman, but 45 home runs. He played in the home run derby. His rookie season, just an outstanding rookie season. 264 on the batting average, pretty high. Not as low as a lot of others. And plus, the third base signatures for the Rays, you only got Isaac Paredes and Yandy Diaz. And these guys aren't too great. I mean, Yandy has great fielding and good eye, 71 base. And then you got Paredes here, who's a 69 base, good hitting stats. But only 2 SIGs for third baseman. I mean, they could have added a third. I don't see why they wouldn't have done that. But they decided not to give Caminero a SIG for an outstanding year. Home runs, average, slugging, he was amazing. Everybody else, though, I can understand why they didn't give a SIG. Brandon Lau has plenty better years. He hit 31 home runs, but his stat line for this game, they gave him a low base stat at 67. Probably should have been 69, 70, but that's comp to us right there for you. And then everybody else, really, besides Yandy Diaz, he has a lot of other better cards, so I can understand why they didn't give him a SIG again. He has lower fielding, good hitting stats, but a lot of good first basemen for the Rays already, including himself and Carlos Pena. So not giving another Yandy Diaz SIG, I can understand. He has quite the amount already. But Junior Caminero, man, he got robbed. He straight up got robbed. Should have gotten a SIG, didn't get a SIG. That's pretty upsetting for any of you Rays teams. Now for the pitching side of things, the starting pitchers, I think, got the right call. Rasmussen and Pepio, who were the best overalls. Adrian Hauser here was a starter, but he had some wonky base stats, so good thing they didn't give him one. I do think they should have given Edwin Uceta the SIG instead. He had a better ERA, more strikeouts, more wins, and more games played than Griffin Jax. So questionable by comp to us to do that. I know the only reason I can understand why is because Uceta got a SIG last year, and they wanted to give a new player for the Tampa Bay Rays a new SIG. That's the only reason I can think of, but overall, Uceta was the better player. Also, Pete Fairbanks here, but he didn't do as well as in past years. He also has some better signatures, or at least one better signature. Not a lot of strikeouts, good amount of saves, good ERA, but low base overall. I think either Fairbanks or Uceta should have gotten the SIG, but I can understand comp to us giving Jax the SIG because he's a new card for the Rays, and it brings more variety to the relief pitchers in the game for the Rays than if they were to just add another Fairbanks or another Uceta. So I can understand their logic, just a little bit of questioning there from my part. But yeah, Junior Caminero totally should have gotten a SIG. Okay, moving on to the 4th team in the American League East, another team that I have, the Toronto Blue Jays. Now here with the batters, we have Alejandro Kirk 25, who is now the best overall catcher for the Blue Jays. 72 base fielding is the highest out of all the catchers. And the other catchers, if you were wondering, for the Blue Jays are Greg Zahn and another Alejandro Kirk from 2022. Those guys do not have a lot of good fielding. This Kirk here, though, great hitting stats, great fielding. This card I'm hunting for, and the card art, I love it when they put the catchers in their catchers uniforms in the picture. They just look so much better. It just makes them indistinguishable as a catcher. A lot of times they'll just throw in a picture of the catcher batting or something, but this is a beautiful card art. This is on top, I believe, I personally believe this is on par with the 2018 Yasmani Grandal card art. Not quite the same, but you get what I mean. Next, we have Ernie Clement. This was a shocker. I did not expect Ernie Clement to get a SIG. 69 base, high base overall, but 9 home runs, 6 stolen bases, 277 average. Played the whole season. If he played the whole season and had a stat line like this, why didn't Trevor Story get a SIG or Rafaela? I don't understand the logic there, but Ernie Clement got the SIG for the stat line he had, and it's not a terrible one. Third base, second base option, so he's versatile. You can move him around. There are better third basemen for the Blue Jays, including Jose Bautista, Troy Gloss, and a couple of other Blue Jays third basemen. So The second base option is really the only benefit with him. His hitting stats are all right. He could be okay for 5-tool player, but he's a lower base overall than you'd ideally like for 5-tool. Next, we have a new Bo Bichette. He has 2 other SIGs in the game, but they're 66 base. This one is his best overall now at a 68 base. His fielding is still very low for a shortstop, though. And if any Blue Jays teams are out there listening to this, if you have Tony Fernandez, you're better off with Tony Fernandez. If not, shoot for this Bo Bichette because you need fielding, and this is the best fielding you're going to get on a Bo Bichette, I can guarantee, for maybe the next several years if he signs back with the Blue Jays. Great contact, good for contact master. Stat line, good high average, 18 home runs, around what you'd expect for Bo Bichette in a good season for him. If he played a few more games and didn't get injured, he probably could have gotten a higher overall, but there's Bo Bichette. And then finally, I think this is a well-deserved SIG, George Springer 2025. I feel like he should have gotten higher fielding than this. I know he DH'd a lot, and he has the DH option, but 53 base fielding is a little bit low in my opinion. And for an outfielder, you're definitely going to want to play him right field if you have him in the outfield, because that fielding is going to kill the fielding for everybody else if you place him in center field or left field. Good contact, much like Bo Bichette. High batting average for him, 32 home runs, 18 stolen bases. Really amazing bounce back season for Springer and great hitting stats overall. For the pitching side, though, only 2 relievers for the Blue Jays, and you have Brenton Little, 3 ERA, 1 save, 91 strikeouts. Good overall season for him. Only a 65 base, though. Wish the Blue Jays had better pitching help because most of their SIG relievers are around 65 to 66 base, some in the 64 range. And we'll look at the other options, but I think this was the right choice. Even though it's only 65, I wish some of the relief pitchers were higher base overall. Jeff Hoffman here, though, I can't say the same thing. 64 base. He had an okay season. 84 strikeouts, 4.3 ERA, 33 saves. The ERA really held him back here. He could have gotten a higher overall if he didn't have such a high ERA, in my opinion. But looking at the other options for the Blue Jays as far as batting goes, I don't think there was a mistake made here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. didn't get a SIG, which is not a bad thing. He has like 4 SIGs for the Blue Jays already. Ty France doesn't need a SIG for the first baseman category in the Blue Jays. They have plenty of first basemen. But Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, I feel like could have gotten a SIG. I'm not saying he should have, but the high overall that he got, which was surprising. If Ernie Clement could get a SIG with the stat line he had, I think Isaiah Kiner-Falefa wasn't too far behind his considerations for a signature, which is ridiculous, but I feel like it could have happened. I'm glad it didn't, though. But everything else for the batters lines up. Nathan Lucas here, kind of a low overall for a SIG. Or Nathan Luke, sorry, I didn't mean to mispronounce that. But yeah, a little bit low of a base stat line. I feel like Contos was trying to give a 4th player a batter SIG. I don't really think Clement needed it, but for some reason they gave it to him. Oh well. Vladimir could have gotten another one, but he didn't play as good as he did in past years. Definitely a worthy stat line, but because he has a lot of better cards, I can understand Comtois not giving him a worser SIG than all of his other cards. For the pitching side, Kevin Gausman could have gotten a SIG, but I'm glad they didn't because he has a much better 2023 and 2022 SIG. This one would have been around the same range as the 2022 SIG, but why give another card that already has SIGs in the game? Better off giving the relief pitchers. And then the other starting pitchers really were not worthy of SIGs. Chris Bassett here, lower base overall, inconsistent season, played a lot of games, good amount of strikeouts, but just not quite good enough. He could have gotten one, but the base overall, I'm glad they didn't give it to him because 69 is below average for starting pitchers and what you'd like for them. Scherzer didn't have a good overall. Bieber didn't have a good overall. Francis didn't have a good overall. Lauer not good enough. Even Barrios as well. But then for the relievers, you could have given Fisher a SIG. He had a good ERA, good amount of wins, good amount of games played. A little bit lower on the strikeouts than Hoffman and Little, but still could have gotten one at 65. It would have been better than Hoffman because he's a 64. Yariel Rodriguez as well, 65 base, same story. And then you got Nance here as well. So a lot of 65 base overall relievers for the Blue Jays. I feel like Nance should have gotten a little bit higher with that low ERA. I know he only played 30 games, but come on, give the Blue Jays a little bit of help here, seriously. No Blue Jays pitcher had, at least a relief pitcher, had a base overall above 65, which is brutal. Because the Blue Jays pitching already, if you look at the signatures for the relief pitchers, they're really low. The best you got is Mark Eichhorn. He's the only outstanding reliever at 73 base. He's the best overall reliever in the game, by the way. But besides Eichhorn, you got Bowden Francis from last year, but he has high stamina. So he's more of like a 67, 66 base relief pitcher if you give him 50 stamina. And then everybody else is 65 or lower. Eric Swanson just retired, by the way, so this card might be out of the game soon. So, I don't know. Really, really questionable. And then for the closing pitchers, Jordan Romano is good, BJ Ryan, but look, nothing really above 67, 68. Not even a 69. So Blue Jays really could have used help. They didn't get it. I'm kind of upset about that because I have a Blue Jays team, but let me know if you're a Blue Jays team what you think about that. But there are the Blue Jays. There's my opinions on those. And then finally, the last team we'll look at for today, the Baltimore Orioles. Didn't have a great season. Didn't get a lot of good cards. Only one batter sig, Gunnar Henderson, and 70 base overall. He has a better card in the game from 2023, and I think he has a great 2024 sig. So if you get any of his SIGs, I think they're all around the 70 to 69 base. This actually might be higher than his last year card, which is kind of crazy to say because he had a way better hitting season last year, but I think the fielding on this card is a lot better than his previous year. He is a shortstop too, so this actually, now that I'm thinking about it, might be the best overall Gunnar Henderson to get for you Orioles teams. 17 home runs, 30 stolen bases, good batting average. And then for the pitching side, 2 pitchers, 1 reliever, 1 starter. Dean Kremer, 69 base, really underwhelming starting pitcher, but the best option that they had, to be quite honest. So I don't blame Comptos for giving him the SIG because he pitched the most games, had the best ERA and overall average stats. And then Keegan Aiken right here. The relief pitchers for the Orioles were brutal, except Felix Bautista, but Bautista has a couple of good years already. So Aiken here was the only option. 64 base. It was really sad. Really, really sad for the Orioles this year. But looking at the comparison, finally, we have for the batters, there's literally nobody. And I was trying to look for somebody to justify a SIG for. Gunnar Henderson from 2025 is the only justifiable card because everybody else was just out of it. Besides Jackson Holiday. But this is not a worthy stat line for a signature by any means. Even the batting stats, 17 home runs, almost a 2020 season, but not quite. So yeah, Jackson Holiday, I don't think should have gotten one. I think it was a right call not to give him one for this stat line. I've seen crazier things happen though. But yeah, Gunnar Henderson, really the only justifiable option. Everybody else is below a 65 base. It's really sad. Really, really sad for the Orioles. They have a lot of other good SIGs from past years, thankfully, but this year for batting was just putrid. And then for the pitching side, like I said, basically the right call. Kate Povich, not great. Dean Kremer, I think the most on point. You could have argued that Trevor Rogers should have gotten one. And I've seen it happen, but he didn't play the minimum amount of innings, and he only played 18 games. Great stretch that he pitched for, but you could have given him one. It would have been possible, and people wouldn't have been upset about it, I don't think. But he didn't get one because he didn't pitch a lot of games. 70 base, would have been a mediocre reliever or starter, at best, around the same as Dean Kremer. And you got Sugano here, who pitched all right, didn't have a lot of strikeouts. 30 games, though. But yeah, I think the right call was Kremer. And then, like I said, for the relievers, Bautista was the only good option other than Keegan Aiken, who was a 64 base. But yeah, Felix Bautista has an amazing 2023, and everybody else just didn't perform up to standards. Kate Povich here, only a 65 for a starter too. So those are the SIGs for the American League East. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. You've heard my opinions on them, but now it's time for you guys to talk about it in the comments, and we'll look at another division in the next video. The American League Central will be up next, but here we are with our Dodgers team, and that was a lot to talk about, but we're going to get into it here. We have an upgrade to make. We did grade increase my Roy Campanella last time. We've stuck with what we had on him since the last video. He's been doing very well. Laser beam at 8, bad ball hitter, and prediction. For the batting side, I did end up trying to skill change Kirk Gibson. I got greens and blues on him and used them. He used to have prediction spotlight. I got strength in the strength and spotlight. Really not much of an improvement, but I had to try something. I had 28 or 26 green tickets. I only have 9 now, so I'm not really happy with how that turned out. I was struggling to get a gold skill on a green ticket with him. And this Dodgers team really hasn't been my favorite as of late because of that. The skilling has been really bad, and I have a lot of backlog with these 6 starting pitchers. So we have our work cut out. We're going to grade increase, or sorry, not grade increase, but upgrade, train, and develop Joe Blanton here at the end of the video. unless I pull a better Dodgers SIG. He's going to go into the bullpen as it stands right now, though. Eventually, I plan on grade decreasing Gagne, Kershaw, and Vesia. May is craft material, by the way. I'm keeping 20 Kershaw just because he's retiring. May end up just getting rid of him in a later video. But for now, let's see if we can pull any new 2025 SIGs. For the Dodgers, just because we're on the Dodgers team, there's Ohtani and Mookie Betts, as well as a new relief pitcher and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But let's get into it here with the silver player packs. I'll say it right off the bat. I'll get to it eventually in my Dodgers team, or when I review the Dodgers as new signatures. But Mookie Betts got a SIG as a shortstop, which is really interesting. I forgot he played the full season as a shortstop. You really don't think of Mookie as a shortstop unless you're a Dodgers fan, because as a Red Sox fan, he's always been an outfielder to me, never anything else than that. So having him as a shortstop now is really interesting. He did have a shortstop option for the 2023 Prime that I do have in my lineup, so if I end up pulling his 2023 card or 2025 card, I could put him at shortstop, which is crazy to think. We get a Prime here. Let's see if it's a Dodger. It is a Seattle Mariners JJ Putz. Have that on my Mariners team. We'll be saving that for either a donation or a combo in the future. There's our second diamond right there. Let's go. Luck is looking all right so far. But let me know who your guys' favorite SIG is that was added to the game. Let me know who you guys think should have been added into the game. Of course, we'll get more into the other teams as we go along in the next several videos. But for the Rays, I can't stop thinking about Junior Caminero not getting one. Let's see if we can get a legend here. We don't get a legend, no orange glow. There are several new legends for the Dodgers. Duke Snyder, and there's also Jackie Robinson back in the game, so I'd like to get those. Don Drysdale and Don Sutton all as well. No legends, though, out of these premium vintage player packs. I had quite a lot of them, more than I thought I had. So pretty cool there. We'll use them in combos later. Let's do the 10 ultimate player packs. Currently, I'm not special training anybody. We get no diamonds here, kind of sad. I'm special training my Eddie Murray on the bench, which is not somebody I really want to special train, but I have to get rid of my cards for inventory somewhere. So let's do these diamond player selective packs. Any luck in these? Any special cards? That's a nice Patrick Corbin. Would eventually like to get that on my D-backs team. He is currently a free agent, I'm pretty sure. Rangers, I don't think I've picked him up. But another pretty interesting signing today happened. The Atlanta Braves signed Mike Yastrzemski for 2 years at about $24 million or $22 million. So I wonder how he's going to pan out. He's definitely getting up there in age now. He was already pretty old when he started playing in MLB in 2019. But Yastrzemski is now with the Braves. I don't know if the Braves can put it back together. The Braves really had a rough going this past season, and they're trying to get something kick-started. So signing the outfielder Mike Yastrzemski might be it for them. Also, big signing happened. Big signing. Pete Alonso went to the Baltimore Orioles, which was kind of a shocker. I thought he was definitely going to go to a bigger market team, but the Orioles offered more money, and I don't think the Mets didn't do anything. They didn't even offer him any money. I think Pete Alonso is probably getting overpaid at this point. We'll see how he performs for the Orioles in their ballpark. It's not really a friendly, especially the right-handers. The Camden Yards is not a friendly hitter-friendly ballpark, is what I'm trying to say. Especially with that left field wall being so deep now that they changed it a couple years back. But we'll see how Pete Alonso pans out in Baltimore. If he can hit well on the road, he might be good enough. All right, last couple of special cards here. Dodgers Team Select Diamond Player Packs. Not really looking for anybody special here, even if it's a Prime. I'm just using this for special training at this point, or upgrades. There's Yamamoto 25. Let's see how many 2025 cards we can pull, and a couple of Mookie Betts. Okay, I'm sorry. Mookie Betts 23 doesn't have a shortstop option. He has a second base option. Forgot they played him at second base that year. Almost won the MVP as well. Roki Sasaki, if he would have stayed healthy, could have gotten a better SIG. But, okay. We now have SIG player packs. Let's go to the 3,000 star SIG player pack first. Pretty sure I don't have a mileage SIG. No, not even close. Okay, we have tons of mileage left to obtain before we get that. Let's see if we can get any new Dodgers SIGs here. Can we get any new 2025 cards? First card of the day is going to be a 2021 Jonathan India. I think India is still on the Royals. I may be wrong about that, but he has not been the same player ever since he left Cincinnati and won Rookie of the Year in 2021. Jonathan India just has not been the prospect that people thought he was, which is kind of strange. All right, special SIG player pack here. Let's get this one knocked out. and then we'll do the regular SIG player packs. Going from left to right here, Silver on the far left, Houston Street 2015, 65 base, not a great reliever for the Angels, but he had a really good year that year, 40 saves if I'm not mistaken. Middle Silver now, another closing pitcher, Todd Jones for the Marlins. Okay, is this a special position select pack, or is this a special teams signature pack? Because we got both closing pitchers. Can this be a closing pitcher on the far right? Oh, okay. We get a new 2025 card, though. That is Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler 2025. I don't think he should have gotten this high of an overall, but somehow he did come to us. I don't understand the logic behind that, but 75 base. That is his best card for the Phillies now. I'm pretty sure. His best overall before was 74, but this year he got injured, but somehow he still got a better overall. How that happened beats me. We get a diamond. Let's go. Can we get 2 or 3? No, just 1. I'm getting a bit greedy. Forgive me for that. We have combos to do afterwards anyways, though, so let's do the silver on the bottom right. We'll do silvers, golds, and then the diamond last. Bottom right, first card is a Richard Rodriguez for the Pirates. Yeah, that'd be nice for my Pirates team. 68 base, 270 ERA. Yeah, would like to have. That's his best year as well. I would like that on my Pirates team. The silver on top of him is a Nationals, Orlando Cabrera. Nationals team. My Nationals team is screaming in pain right now. Would like that on my Nationals team. Silver next to Cabrera.
World Series mastery.
Yoshi! Let's go! First night of the new SIGs, and we get Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I'll say it right now, guys. That is going to be used for this team. And you know why? Well, I'll explain why after we finish these packs. That is ridiculous. It's the second time it's happened this year where the new SIGs drop and I've gotten a new team SIG the same night of. First it was Edgar Martinez, now it's Yoshinobu. Wow. Only one of the 4 new team SIGs for the Dodgers, by the way. That is ridiculous. That clutch. That is beautiful. Bottom silver SIG now. Chili Davis for the Twins, 1991. That's only the second 2025 card we've pulled, and we already have a team SIG for the Dodgers. Granted, it's a Dodgers card, because Dodgers are the most popular and common cards in this game, but I still can't believe that. That is beautiful. His left side is amazing. 77 velocity and location. Everything above 70, in fact. Wow. Okay, left, bottom left silver. Wow. Okay, what can I say? That is a dupe. That is a dupe, so it's not useful, but now we can craft. I have that exact same Kenley Jansen. 2015 Kenley Jansen, 69 base overall card. Not much else to say because I already have him. Okay, 2 more golds left. We have a, wow, Denny McLain. Ooh-wee, 76 base starter. That is one of the newer ones. Now it's not the newest because the new SIGs are out, but in the second to last SIG update, he was added. That is, his legend card is the same base overall. Beautiful Denny McLain for any of you Tigers teams out there. All right, bottom gold now. We get a Padres Yu Darvish, 74 base. A lot of great starting pitchers in this bunch. My goodness. All right, that's a great Yu Darvish. He didn't have a great year this year. I feel like he's going to retire soon also, but okay. Can we get another Dodger? This is going to be ballistic if I can get another Dodger. Diamond Team SIG. Is it? No, it is a JJ Putz. Another Diamond Mariner. I got a Diamond Mariner on my Mariners team in the last video. Check that out if you haven't already. JJ Putz right there. Beautiful reliever. Would like that on my Mariners team. But let's go. 2 more Dodgers SIGs in a set of 8. And we got Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the first night he's released. That is insane. And now, guys, the reason why this is great. I'm going to lock him up. I was thinking earlier the other day, I have Bob Feller here. He's a 75 base starting pitcher, but he doesn't get a SIG bonus. His skill set is alright. Finesse pitcher is great with Fireballer. Cleaning up your mess, though, hit or miss. His stats are, as they are right now, trained and even his train is not great. I want to get rid of this card. I've been thinking about getting rid of this card ever since I started looking at it a few days ago. And Yoshinobu is the candidate to do that. So we have another backlog of, look how many pitchers I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers on the reserves not being used for the Dodgers right now. I'm going to unlock Dustin May and we're going to craft him. In fact, I'm going to craft that pack first before we actually do the combos, just so I don't combo them away on accident. But that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is perfect. The only reason I'm going to use him is because he's a 74 base, and with the SIG bonus, he'll get a much higher overall than if it were like a 72 base or a 71 base Dodgers starting pitcher like Dustin May here, who is a 71 base starting pitcher. But let's craft May and Jansen. If this can give me, like, I don't know. If this can give me Ohtani, I really don't know what I would say. Ohtani has 2 SIGs now for the Dodgers, by the way, 24 and 25. But absolutely bonkers, absolutely ridiculous. Let's do the combos first, and then we'll get into that team Dodgers team SIG pack. Alrighty, this has been epic so far. We have a good amount of SIGs to combo, should have enough stars, but let's get this kicked off here with 3 silvers. 2 team SIGs in this video already. Can we make it 3? Ooh, okay, that caught me lacking a little bit. I thought I saw another Dodger. Same color of blue almost, but it is the blue of the Tampa Bay Rays, 69 base Colin McHugh. This is a great reliever, a 1-year card for them as well. All right, let's do, I can only do 2 silvers and a gold. We'll have to do it. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We get another Adam Frazier. This guy, I'm telling you, Adam Frazier is another card that I pull all the time. I've gotten his Orioles SIG. I've gotten his Mariners SIG multiple times. I've gotten his Padres SIG before. He has a lot of SIGs in the game for being a low power hitting card, which is kind of crazy. Okay, let's do it again. Barlow, Frazier, and let's do McLean. I'll save the 2025 SIG there for the next combo. 3, 2, 1. We get a Barry Larkin, 1995. Okay. That is an amazing shortstop card, 74 base Reds vintage card. Reds have a lot of good vintages, by the way, if you guys didn't know. All right, we're down to the last combo here. I'm going to do the 2 diamonds and the Barry Larkin, saving the Wheeler SIG here. Can we finish off with one more Dodger before we upgrade, or we open up that next pack? 3, 2, 1. No, we get a White Sox diamond, James McCann. Not a great catcher SIG, but you could use it. 64 fielding, at least it's not below 60. It's lower than you'd like to have it. Ideally 69 or 68 fielding at the minimum, but yeah, it's an okay catcher. It's all right. Okay, now the Dodgers SIG player pack. Can we get a diamond, please? Okay, asking for too much. It is a gold. If this is a dupe, no big deal. We got Yoshinobu. Ohtani, please, or Max Muncy. Max Muncy would be great. He's my only regular diamond left. 3, 2, 1.
Facing the 99 pitch on the ground. I'm there to stay. They leave him loaded. 6 shutout complete for Jack Flaherty.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. 73 base Jack Flaherty. That's not terrible, but it is not the most ideal. I've just been pulling pitcher Dodgers SIGs this entire time. I mean, I pulled Campanella a couple videos ago, but other than him, I've just been getting pitcher after pitcher after pitcher. He is better than Julio Urias right now by 2 overalls. He would be a great upgrade, and Urias doesn't have an endgame skill set. I know you guys can't see that skill set, but that's what he's working with. It's not great. It's okay with fireball or finesse, but the third skill is nothing. But Flaherty's 2 overalls better. He's also better than Anderson. Just slightly, just barely. Anderson's basically a 73 base as well, but Flaherty is a 73. And then Kershaw, of course, I'm replacing with my other Kershaw. Yoshinobu I can replace with Feller. I think I'm keeping Flaherty for a long-term project, unless I get a better starting pitcher like Bill Singer or some other better Dodgers starter. 73 base though, that is high, and that is usable. So we're keeping Flaherty for the time being. 2 new starting pitcher sigs that will eventually get into the rotation. Not the most ideal upgrades, honestly, because Muncy really needs to go. I also really do want to get another third baseman to use Brett as my chemistry guy instead of at third base because his fielding is below 100. But hey, I can't complain. 2 new team sigs and 1 new 2025 team card. That is ridiculous. I've been so blessed to have this amount of good fortune, and God is good. I have to say, God is good. Praise the Lord. Okay, Joe Blanton here. We're upgrading him because he's a diamond. Gonna get him the black diamond, get him into the bullpen, see if I can get him a good set. And yeah, let's speed up the video and get to it. Alright, boys and girls and people of all ages and whatever, we're done with Joe Blanton 2016 here. I got the train that I wanted on him. It could have been less than 5 to stamina, but it's alright. 5 to stamina is what I was looking for. Borderline, 21 velocity, 13 location. Love that left side train. And then the trainers, you might be wondering why I'm going heavy on the break and the fastball. Well, that's because I got bullpen day with pitching coordinator, and he has a lot of pitch types, so 5 to be exact. And I was looking on my Discord. If you guys want to, you can join my Discord. I have a guide from Paco on Discord here. Thanks to him for sharing this with me. But with fastball plus break, the normal fastball plus break, 139 plus 138, I get exactly 277 fastball and break combined, which will give me an added pitching coordinator bonus of 16 to both fastball and break. That is the max bonus you can possibly get on a level 8 pitching coordinator skill for any card. So that is the reason why I'm going so heavy on the fastball and the break in the trainers. He's a lower overall card, and I had to base stat adjust to actually make the correct amount of 277. I was 3 off, and I base stat adjusted from stamina, which worked out perfectly. The left side is still really high. That's why I got the velocity and location to get the special training points, so that the right side could get the trainer points instead. But I know it's a low level skill set, and the thing is, I don't want to be using all my premiums and all my legend change tickets on him because I have so many other SIGs, Dodgers SIGs that is, to grade increase later and use those on. So this will work for now. He's going to be in my middle relief. I might bump him up to setup role. My Kenley Jansen isn't that great either. Got a good train, got decent iron will, but this team, like I was saying in the past, it hasn't been my favorite with skilling. It's just been very mediocre at best as far as skill levels go. I can barely get anything higher than a 3-2-1 or a 3-2-2. It is really a struggle to get stuff that is good levels on any of my cards. I don't think I have a 3-3-3 set besides my legend, which is a guarantee, and I think the best pitching set I have is my Eric Gagne here with Boss Finesse and Bullpen Day. But yeah, to say the least, it's been pretty upsetting trying to get skills on this team as far as endgame sets. But with Joe Blanton here, he's got corner work master, good trainers, good skills for now, and he will stick in my bullpen for a long time to come. But guys, we got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That is a win of a pull. First night of him being released, I still can't believe we got him. But I hope you guys get your new 2025 SIGs that you need. Again, comment down below which ones you want. And Yamamoto wasn't on my bucket list, but I'll gladly take him after what happened today. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below and hit share and subscribe. Feel free to follow the other MLB 9 Innings YouTubers I've linked in my description box as well. They make great content. I know you guys would enjoy their videos, and they'd really appreciate your support. You can also follow me on Instagram, Reddit, and follow my Discord channel as well, as I mentioned earlier. The links are all in the description box if you want to check any of those out. And with that being said and done, that's going to be it for me here today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. God bless you guys. Don't forget, Jesus loves you all. He died for your guys' sins, and if you believe and trust in Jesus, he'll save you from your sins, guys. With that being said, though, I'll see you all in the next video.